Hey, this is Rich the Ridge Hunter. We're up here at Cedars Creek with Gun Runner. How you doing today, buddy?
Good.
And he's rendering down hamburger, and you've got what, the fat and grease there?
Yep.
And what's this separating? What's that there in your left hand?
This is in the left hand.
Or right hand, I'm sorry.
Right hand is this is the water out of the beef, and this is the fat out of the beef.
Sweet. So we're rendering that down, letting it separate out, so we can render that later on.
Yeah.
Now, what do you got here in the sink? I know you're doing what? What are we canning today? We got what? Chicken?
We're canning ground beef and chicken.
Sweet.
And I've got my chicken all chunked up.
And you are working today. You are going with it. You've got the water bath canner here.
Yeah, I got one water bath canner sterilizing jars.
All right.
And I got another water bath. I got
lids. Another
and,
water bath.
Yeah, we're going to take water from here and put in our jars over here.
All right.
And I got a canner here that's getting warm.
Okay.
And over here, I've got a separate funnel.
All your goodies.
One funnel for beef, one funnel for chicken.
Sweet.
Keep that separate. We got our vinegar here for our things so our jars don't get cloudy.
All right.
We got some bouillon cubes here. Just run the mill Sam's Club bouillon cubes. We got, as promised, I brought 8 quarts or 8 pints of.
Let's get a shot of those over there. Now, what's this?
This is 8 pints of wild rice chicken with wild rice with carrots and onions that I canned last year.
All right.
And
that's going to be served today, right?
Yep.
That's what we're going to eat today for lunch.
We're going to put that in a thing of hot water bath. You got to get it up to 140 degrees to kill anything that might have been in there, but all the lids look great.
All right.
After a year. Ember Copper and Gunsight Scout helped me put these together.
Who was that again?
Ember Copper and Gunsight Scout.
All right. Any shout outs you want to do besides those two?
Well, I wish my buddy Ugly was here, and I am one ugly guy. We're waiting on the one last Patriot to come. We're waiting on a couple other folks from the Miami Valley Preparedness Group.
All right.
It's a new group that we're.
But we're off to a good start up here at Cedar Creek, right?
Sure.
Man, that looks good.
We'll take the ground beef and put it into jars. We'll ladle it into jars and put some water on top of it and maybe a bouillon cube and season it up. And
man, we're going to be eating good, and he's going to have all this canned up.
Right.
Well, we're lucky we're here at Cedars Creek. They've got all this space available because it looks like he's used about every inch that you can see on these counters.
There's some 1 inch left.
So we'll catch up with you with another video here after a while, but we've got to let this man get to work.
I got to bust some studs.
All right, so we've got some hamburger packed up here and add a little water to it. We'll watch the master as he works here.
I don't know about master, but I'm working.
Adding the ground beef to the jar.
Yep.
And we'll add a little bit of water to this one. Now you have strained out the fat out of there because you're going to render that down.
Right.
And now you've taken the option that you're going to add a little bit of water to this.
Sure.
And you knock the air bubbles out.
Right.
And then all you do is cap it up and put it in there, and then we're going to put it in a pressure canner. And how long are we canning it for?
75 minutes.
Okay, 75 minutes. All right. So we will get back with you when we're doing chicken. But there you see that we are working on the ground beef, and it smells wonderful. Oh, one of the things that he likes to do is when he's got this jar here and he fills this up, the other thing I find interesting, you're putting a beef bouillon cube in there, but you did not add any seasoning to the meat. Is that correct?
That's it.
So the only seasoning that will be in this ground beef will be the beef itself in the jar, a little bit of water that's added to it, and a 1 beef bouillon that he puts into this.
And that way it takes on some beef flavor.
Okay.
Some additional beef flavor. So
wonderful.
We're just going to tamp all this down now. And we got, okay, so we're going to add some more.
All right.
It's easier to add more than to take away. So I'm finding that to be the...
We're adding this up to what, about the first rim there?
Yeah, the first rim.
All right, right there where I got my finger, the first rim.
And then that's about it. It's packed in there good.
Add some water to it, and then...
one thing I like to do is I take my funnel and I use one funnel for beef, one funnel for chicken. Very important.
Right. Don't want to cross-contaminate anything.
Right. So that's a little low, but as a whole, that's pretty good.
All right. And we'll just add a little water to that?
Right. I'll just add a couple ladles full of water. this is called cold packing, by the way.
All right. We're learning here. We're learning today. 75 minutes. We're cold packing the beef.
We'll be, oh, there we go, right there.
Perfect.
Okay, so now we come over here. This
Put
is
a
great
lid.
if you can get an assembly line going.
Yep, yep. We've got some other people here that don't want to be on camera, and we respect their wishes. So if you hear people talking in the background, that's what's going on.
Wipe this down with a clean rag first.
Uh-huh.
Then this rag has, this cloth has, this paper towel has vinegar on it. The vinegar
on there?
is an acid, and it eats away at all the things that'll do you harm. So,
Ah, okay. Very good to know.
We're going to grab a lid.
Grab a lid with a magnetic lid.
Yep, with the magnetic lid holder. Put your fingers on.
Comes out from being sterilized. Gets a ring.
Right. And then we set it in our canner.
All right. And into the canner, and then when we get a load in the canner, we're going to fire it up.
The canner water is warm, but not hot.
All right. Now, why is... I did learn something today. It is the reason why we have warm ground beef going in a warm jar. The jars just came out of warm water here, going into the water that is in the canner that is warm, because if you put a cold jar in warm water or a warm jar in cold water, we have glass on the bottom of the thing, and that's not good, right?
That's not good.
That's not good. So I learned that today, and that's why we don't have any glass down there, because these people are super smart compared to me.
Okay,
And
we're
back to doing the assembly line. Get out of the way.
So beef bouillon cube in the middle of this one.
There you go. Alrighty. Well, you see what we're working on up here at Cedars Creek today. What we're learning. Alrighty. Here we are. We're doing chicken. Go ahead.
Well, we're doing chicken in 1 mouth pint jars. I had about 4 pounds of chicken, 5 pounds of chicken. There's about a pound per jar. And, you know, same technique. I put a bouillon cube on top. This isn't rocket science. I got this off of YouTube.
All right. Now you add water to these also?
Yes, I'm going to be adding water to it.
All right. So now you fill these up to about the first rim.
Yep, that's all I'm doing.
Add 1 bouillon cube.
That's it. Right on
No
top.
salt, no pepper, no nothing else.
Nothing else.
And then we're going to push it down a little bit. Is that right?
That's it. I'll take this, just like we did the ground beef,
All right.
and do a little push, a tamp.
Got the ground beef in there.
Right. And we didn't make as much as we thought, because we ran off for the meat up here, and we left all our meat at home.
Well, it happens. But you picked up some beef on the way down.
Right.
And the idea is we were able to teach what we're doing.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you got 1 pound or 20 pounds.
Right.
So it just means that you got to go home tonight and do beef and stuff that you got sitting in the fridge so it doesn't go bad.
Yeah, we're going to have spaghetti tomorrow night. And, I've got some baked chicken for
Wonderful.
Tuesday night. And
You could probably do chicken Alfredo one of these coming up nice
Sure,
too. Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Waste not, want not.
yeah, I've got about 10 pounds of chicken.
That's the great part about being preppers and homesteaders and other things, is you don't waste anything.
Okay, so now we're going to tamp.
All right.
Well, before we tamp, we got to get, we're just going to set this on top.
All right.
We got to get some hot water.
All righty. Well, let's come back when we get the hot water.
Right.
Oh, here we are. We've got the chicken, and we've got really hot water, and he's putting it in here with the chicken, with 1 beef bouillon.
No, chicken bouillon.
Chicken bouillon, excuse me. One chicken bouillon in with the chicken. Filling it up to about the first rim, the first knock here where you see his finger.
Then I go around, I poke around and
Get the air bubbles out.
see how much of the water dropped.
Yeah, fills it up with air bubbles.
Yeah,
Get the air out, add a little more water, I guess, back up to the rim again.
yeah.
And then we're going to process this with chicken. This is cut up chicken, breast or tenders, doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, it's just chicken breast.
Chicken breast, water, 1 chicken bouillon, and then 75 minutes.
That's it.
75 minutes in the pressure canner. Look at this nice canner he's got. Ooh, I want one. No rubber ring on this thing. Like my Presto. Which one? Who makes this one?
That's the All-American 921.
Oh, very nice. And you know what? he's going to get a bigger one. He just told me. He told me before I started shooting this, he's going to get a bigger canner. So
when it's harvest time, you don't want your canner running all the time.
Yep.
So we're going to get us a bigger canner. We're going to get a 945, which you can do 14 quarts at a time with.
That's great. All right, now we're still doing a chicken here, but I'm going to ask Gunrunner a couple questions here. You've got a farm you live on, is that right? Little gentleman's farm.
Yes, it's like.
And I've got to get this picture in here. I like this hat. Let me see this hat and apron. Your son sent you the hat and apron, is that right?
Yep.
That's wonderful. I love it. The chef hat and the apron that matches in camouflage. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know that, and the viewers are going to want to know this, you live this. This is not just coming up and demonstrating that. You actually do this. You have chickens.
Right.
You're just starting to raise some chickens. I saw your video on that.
Yeah.
And to know this is not his chickens in the cans, in the jars. At least not yet, but.
No, all my chickens are layers.
There you go. So it may be chickens in the cans later on.
Right.
So.
If need be. Yeah.
But that's
what we're doing is I'm gonna make them all ready.
Put them all over there so you can keep them separate. That's right.
Right. And then
like I said, folks, I'm in the way in here. I'm just kind of filming everything while he's running around doing this stuff. But at least we're learning from a person who really does this in real life. This is not just some put on thing. He's doing this. He does this. Works on firearms.
Yeah, I'm a licensed gunsmith.
And a licensed gunsmith, but not just that. A licensed Class 3.
I'm a manufacturer of Class 3 weapons.
Oh. I love you already. Did you know that? You're married, right? Dang it, there's a problem.
Yeah, you might have fight on your hands there.
Well.
Okay, now that one's pretty much perfect, even with me probing.
Sweet.
So I don't have to add or delete anything there.
That's great.
And some of the meat will release some juice too. So.
And 75 minutes.
That's it.
In the pressure canner.
If it were quarts, it would be 90.
If it was quarts, it would be 90. Okay, so everything we're doing today is in pints. Okay, everything. See my hand. Everything we're doing today is in pints.
Yeah, that keeps it simple when you do all one thing. You know.
Now here's a big question.
Yeah.
You can do the chicken and the beef at the same time, which somebody's going to ask that question because we're showing it. We've got the beef in here, we're waiting, and we're going to put the chicken in here.
The chicken and the beef can be done at the same time. It requires the same amount of cooking time. It's all meat. It's all what I call cold pack. All the meat is cold when it goes into the jars. They're not cold, but it's
cool. It's not hot.
It's room temperature, and we'll let the pressure canner do all the work.
Sweet. All right, we'll get back with you. We're going to be eating here soon. Look at this. Look at these jars he did up here of wild rice and vegetables. That's what I'm waiting on. I didn't bring a bowl. He told me I had to bring a bowl. I brought a great big giant cup.
Well, that'll work too. That'll work too.
All righty.
So, this one's close, but it's not.
All right. I'll get back with y'all after a while.